Talking about we looking, smelling, feeling like money. I feel like when you ball out, everybody get to know you. But how many hooded bitches do you think even really loyal? Cause I can count on one hand how many stay down. Lead a middle finger up, bitch wanna see me now. And I don't even wanna talk about it, I ain't even gon' trip. I'ma just stack these chips, more game, we about to get lit. Hey.
And just like that, man, it is your boy Wydoe. Had to take my guest out of here. I got to give him a proper introduction. It is your boy Wydoe on the official Wydoe podcast. Hello. We are having a fine Wednesday today. I hope you are as well. Everything is perspective. I had a goddamn 170-pound roll shutter fall on my arms today, but I'm having a great one. Why? Because I'm on the show with my brother of 16 years today. I'm hyped the fuck up to have this, okay? I already had him here, as you could see. I had to get him out of here because we've been, making sure everything was set up. But we had to cut it short because we're just reminiscing, talking, and it needs to be on the camera because he's just one of one, man. So without further ado, let me go ahead and introduce my guest, a brother of 16 years, man. Somebody that literally we used to tell people in high school and middle school we're brothers and got away with it, okay? He's from South Africa for real. A lot of people say, no, for real. Like, I'm a good basketball player, so a lot of people just assume I'm half black. No, this guy's for real South Africa, okay? Catching lions, chasing tigers, running. Really did it. Cape Town, what up? Shout out. This is the legend, a local legend, one of the nicest guys you'll ever meet. If you ever met him, I don't have to explain anymore. A pilot, okay? A nurse coming up, okay? Pro skateboarder, amateur kickboxer. The list goes on. Without further ado, my brother, local legend, South African king, Cody Maitland. How are we doing, my guy?
What's up, dude? It's good to see you, man.
Dude, no. It's good to see you, my brother. How is life? How is everything, dog?
It's good, dude. You cracked me up with the riding lions thing because I swear to God I rode an ostrich one time. Not bullshit whatsoever.
Listen,
everyone always makes the joke like, "Oh, you're from Africa. You ever ridden a lion?" But I actually did ride an ostrich.
And how big was that motherfucker?
It was huge. It was a big, average-sized ostrich. They're pretty big animals.
So it's a thing over there.
Yeah, it's like a tourist attraction. I'm not gonna lie. Like, you pretty much pay to ride an ostrich to say in moments like this. Like, yeah, I rode an ostrich one time.
I rode an ostrich. I bet that bitch gave you up real good too.
They're fast, dude. Yeah, it's kind of like riding a bull. They buck you off.
So how long did you live in South Africa? I'm gonna talk like I don't know you, brother, for the people. How long did you live in South Africa before jumping over here to where we call home in America?
I moved here when I was 6 years old, so I didn't really get to experience much of it as like an adult. You know what I mean? I moved here and that's all I really know. You know what I mean? Living in Florida, but when I was 18, I moved back there. So for at least like 6-7 months. So I got to at least experience life over there.
And take it. And you always had family over there at all times.
Yeah, exactly. Yeah, it was cool. Like, actually, like going from 6 years old to going back when I was 18, it was like meeting all of my family for the first time. It was wild.
Right. I mean, can you imagine
and meeting an uncle for the first time at 18, it's crazy.
Oh, couldn't even imagine that, dog.
Yeah.
Now we're gonna go all over the place. There's no way I can ever be smart enough or good enough to talk and do interviews in a chronological timeline. Fuck it, dude. We're just gonna reminisce, dog. This man,
dude.
Okay, his dad has always been a pilot. Has always been that original OG YouTube was African pilot. Didn't even know what that meant until I realized he's legit African pilot. Okay, my brother Cody is now a legit pilot. What was that like, dog? What is that like? You're legit, man.
Yeah, it's a long process, dude. Like going through all the training. It was like going to school. It was at that point when I was doing that, that was it for me. Like, I was gonna be my career. You know what I mean? Yeah. And then I got all the way to like my private pilot's license, where I can at least like fly recreational airplanes and shit.
Gotcha.
And then I kind of gave up on it as a career from there. But
yeah, because did you see the field? Is it not a real lucrative field as a private pilot type of guy?
Definitely a lucrative field if you go into like commercial, like Spirit or any airline. You know what I mean? But it just seemed like it seemed like a job that it wasn't really fit for me. You know, not anything against pilots, but I just saw it as like you're just like a taxi driver in the sky, always away from home. Like, you know.
Yeah.
It just seemed like something I didn't really want to do. I mean, if you can get like a sweet job, like flying around fucking famous people and getting stupid money for that, then you could do that. But
the private guy.
Yeah, but I kind of just like, my sister was in the medical field, and she kind of like influenced me a lot to get on that side of shit. So
yeah. That was just crazy to see, because I literally saw you go from training on the books to Snapchatting in the passenger seat driving, then to really flying it on your own. Really flying. I'm like, God damn, dude, he wants to go to the Bahamas. We can go. Okay, boater's license, anybody can go get that thing, but pilot it's a real deal thing.
For sure. Yeah, so it takes quite a lot of training, and like school, like actually going to a school to do it, and all the homework and shit like that. Like it's a lot of work to go through, but it's worth it. Like, just your pilot's license never expires. You just have to keep up with, every 2 years you got to do a little like flight review and make sure that you know what you're doing. Yeah, but it never expires.
Did you do like a simulator type thing in training, or do they just throw you out in a plane?
They honestly put you in a plane right off the bat, because there's two controls on either side, so you're in the pilot and command seat right from the get-go, but the instructor is in the passenger seat. Yeah, he's pretty much flying. Your first couple flights, he's flying the whole time. He's kind of letting you do a couple things, but yeah, it was a fun time.
Damn,
but we did some simulator shit too.
Yeah, because I'm like, man, I'd pay some money to go on a simulator.
Like dude, you could. I could just take you flying, dude. It's honestly such an easy thing.
Well, slow down here, Cody. Slow down here, bro. I trust you in my life, but goddamn, like skydiving, I'll never do it. My cousin Alec jumps off fucking 20
times. Dude, you gotta skydive.
I know you've probably done it, dude. It's just like, I'm not doing it. I like planes. I damn sure I'm not going to jump out of the plane. But I've been on one little mini plane. We won't call it sketchy, but it was a little mini plane. And I was probably like 13 years old at a fair, and we probably shouldn't have gone on that damn thing, but we did. And it was wild on the way up. Then once we got up, it was kind of cool. So maybe, bro, where would we go? Where do you take people out? Like, is that kind of a thing?
Yeah, like if I have someone that's really interested in going, we could just I could rent a plane. I used to have a share in a plane where kind of a bunch of people get together and buy a plane together, so it's like pretty affordable. But right now I got out of that because I wasn't using it that much. I felt like it was a waste, so I could just rent a plane, by the hour, and we could take off from Fort Pierce, fly around. Don't even have to go anywhere. We could just fly around and come back, or fly to Okeechobee and land and come back, or fly to the Keys. An hour and a half to Marathon Key. Not bad.
Right, that's insane.
Compared to driving the entire way there,
at least 5 hours.
Yeah, hour and a half flight, it's cheap.
Come on now. And when you go to fly, how much communication, verification, letting somebody know where you're at, communication control, how much does that go into play before you even get to leave? My boy might be getting a call right here. I'll try to keep it going, maybe take a little sip. He wanted me to pour up for this goddamn podcast. I've been pretty good with laying off my Mary baby. I've been definitely laying off the alcohol. My brother Cody wanted me to pour up with him. I almost did. Still might. We got plenty of time. We're gonna try and get his Wi-Fi back to normal. But it's just, who does that, man? The guy that young, already coming out here saying, from South Africa, we haven't even gotten into the pro skateboarder, amateur kickboxer, that style of his life, and this man's already flying planes, flying through the air.
There you go. Back. My bad, dude. I got a phone call. I declined it immediately, but it didn't. It just shot me out of here real quick.
It doesn't matter, dog. So my question was, how much preparation, how much communication checking in goes into a control towers before you can even take off?
It's really not that big of a deal. You just have to that's something you cover in school, like how to communicate with the air traffic control and stuff like that. There's mainly like the things you have to cover is who you are. So you tell them what the tail number of the airplane you're in, so if they can see you and they can kind of figure out where you're at. You tell them who you are, where you are, where you're going, and they'll kind of give you a direction of how, like, where to taxi to whatever runway they're going to have you depart from. So you just tell them who you are, where you are, and where you're trying to go, and they'll put you on the right runway and they'll get you out of there. Damn. And make sure you don't hit anybody. So
yeah, I mean, real life.
A lot.
And so even if, like, does everyone have to have a standard radio, or can they just log into you? Like, it's just a standard radio station. Like, how is that? How do you really communicate with somebody?
It's every airplane has a radio that you tune into the frequency of that particular control tower. Okay. So yeah, so at Fort Pierce, I tune into their radio, so I only talk to them, and no one else can. I mean, everyone else that's tuned into that radio station can hear you, because that's kind of how everyone kind of knows at least where everyone is, because they can hear people talking to the control tower, as well as the control tower keeping them away from each other. So,
oh my gosh.
Yeah, and then you go to another airport, you got to tune into their thing, and you got to let them know where you're at and that you're trying to land.
Okay, we won't go too long on it, Mr. Pilot. Have you ever had any scary moments?
To be honest,
turbulence.
no.
In my opinion, scary might even be gas, fuel, not even so much wobbly. What's scary to you?
I guess any scary. I've never been in any like accidental scary situations flying, but anything I do that's scary is on purpose. Like I'll just do like fun maneuvers for passengers and stuff like that, like dive a little bit and like make them all float off their chairs. But I've never been in any position where I was like, oh shit, like I don't really,
know what's going on.
Yeah, airplanes are so reliable. Like I haven't had any mechanical problems ever. I haven't had any like real, like maybe early on I was kind of doing like messing up on the radios and like doing dumb shit, like not listening to what or doing the wrong thing from what they told me to do. But yeah, other than that, like nothing crazy that's like happened to me flying.
And when stuff does go wrong, like, is it like the movies where you got to go read a book and read off shit, or is it you're taught to figure it out? Like, does it depend on how the size of the plane and how serious it is?
Yeah, I mean, there's like protocol for every single, for most problems that can happen. You know, if your engine cuts out, you're kind of like drilled in your head of what to do in those type of situations. Like, pretty much everything has like and it's all written down in a book as well. So you can just check your little book and be like, oh shit, like what do I do? And it's just like a little tiny flipping book that's easy to get through to get to like what problem you're having, you know?
Yeah.
So
what do I need? Damn, dude.
Yeah.
That's wild shit. Okay, I'll consider it, my brother. You know what? I might have to go fly.
Dude, we'll just go around.
You don't fly as much. Yeah, we'll just fucking go around, get some great footage. Okay.
I'm gonna get you off the head.
It'll be great. Yeah, we can still hear you clear. No worries. Now we're gonna go into pro skateboarder Cody. Now, I used to skateboard. I was pretty good. My father is an OG professional in the 70s and 78, 79. He was one of the best in Florida. Legit guy. So I took after him probably 6th, 7th grade. My year was always the year it was. So in 2006, I was in 6th grade, 7th. About 7th grade, I started to skateboard, met Cody, met friends of ours, guys that were really into it, Brandon, and we really started skateboarding, Todd, and I got pretty good at it. But I want to know, because Cody was always the guy. Cody was always really good at it. So when did you start skating, bro? What got you into that? Coming from South Africa, dog. How early? Because I know you were doing it early on. So what got you into it?
I remember cruising down like to like my grandma's. I remember even when I was like cruising down the street on my skateboard to like go see my grandma.
Yeah.
And then just like I think it was still like just using my neighborhood just for, you know what I mean, as a little kid, and then just kind of went from there. Definitely your progression though, from how little total you skateboarded for, you got on the level that we were all skating at. Like you weren't any less of a skateboarder than us. You know what I mean? It was insane.
Yeah.
Never skating ever before. You just built some cool shit at your house to ripping and airs and inverts, and it's like to do that, dude.
Yeah, because at first, you know, we're building little ramps in the front yard, and we had one at my house. My dad was like, all right, fuck that. You guys are not, he saw us in the road and shit. He didn't like us being in the road. Yeah. And I wasn't even that into it. Cody was locked in. Brandon was locked in. They were for real in it. And they slept over one night, and I went to sleep, and I woke up, and my dad and them got up real early, and we're putting shit together, measuring shit out. And I woke up with a goddamn half pipe in the backyard, bro.
Dude, it was so crazy how stoked your dad was on building shit. Like he would have a couple beers, and tomorrow we're gonna wake up and we're gonna take it all down and build it 10 tomorrow morning. You know,
hey,
just
as long as we had the Budweiser, it was going.
He skated. He kind of got to skating at like, how old was he when he bought a board, pads and shit, and started skating in the backyard on a
definitely
8-foot vert ramp.
50, at least 51, 52 years old at that time. He was definitely out there skating with us.
And he got to, it was like pretty good again. Like it took him a month or two, but I remember he was doing tail taps and he was crushing it. And I think
like you could tell he had it. He was just rusty.
You doing this?
Yeah, you could tell he had it. He was just a little rusty.
Yeah,
from all the time off. But I mean, you were on a different level, Cody. Like I've been pretty good at, if I'm good at something, I'll pick it up quick. And skateboarding, I just loved it, dude. It was how could you not, man? As soon as you start skating, anybody that has, as soon as you land your first ollie and you want to flip it, then you want to shove it, then you want to twist it, then you want to jump off something. There's just so many things to level up from. There's a lot of things I was scared of and stayed away from. Those are rails. Okay.
Yeah.
A lot of the stairs, street shit. I was like, okay, that's Cody. Them boys are a little wild, but the ramps, we were definitely on them ramps like a motherfucker, dog.
On those fucking ramps. At a time where it wasn't really even that popular to be like getting into. At the time, there was no one doing. Like people were like kind of weird for being so into vert and shit. Like all people did was street skate back then too.
Oh yeah.
Like your dad got onto it, just kind of kicking off at that time. Nowadays, like vert smaller ramps like that.
Yeah.
Like 10 foot, 8 to 10 foot ramps is huge now.
It's huge now, right, bro?
All over Florida, it's huge.
And I look back, I'm like, bro, because in my head, I'm like, okay, because at one point we got pretty good at skating. Me and Cody were going out, we were entering contests, we were at the brink of really getting sponsored. Shit was real, and I broke my foot. And I couldn't play basketball, and I was like, okay, I got to make a choice there. Do I become a pro skateboarder in that route, or do I try to go basketball? In my head, basketball get me college, and skateboard at that time, there's only a few of them really making enough money to really live off of it and live a good life. A lot of skaters living a skater life, but I wanted a good life.
Yeah.
But looking back, dog, the fucking vert scene blew up. The Vans contest, we would have been in all that. The mega ramp, like that was our lane, bro. Everyone knew Cody and Wyatt are some vert boys. Don't be a vert contest. Dude, they're gonna get us on the flat, but vert, we were out there doing some shit, brother.
For real.
Devo in the chat had a question. He says, Wydoe, did your dad ever run into Rodney Mullen? Let me tell you,
he
Devo,
did. He knew Rodney Mullen.
My dad was 17 years old and Rodney was 13. Rodney Mullen, I believe it's from Jacksonville or Gainesville, and his father was a dentist and did not want Rodney to skateboard. Didn't believe in skateboarding. And back then, skateboarding was only vert, only ramps, only bowls. So that was it. There was no street skateboarding. So he said, if I don't do ramps, Dad, can I still skate on the street? He said, yes. Made him wear full pads. That way, if you see original videos, he's full pads, knees, elbows, helmet, full shit. And he's just on the flat doing shit. And he created literally every street move that we have today. He created all of them, from shove-its. My father also grew up with Alan Gelfand, who invented the ollie hop, which was on a vert ramp. That's the ollie after him. Mullen put it on a flat ground, invented kick flips, tray flips, heel flips, lasers, everything, because that's all he had time to do was flat ground tricks. The primo shit, everything was. So my father definitely knew Rodney Mullen, definitely spent nights at his house, rode in the bowls with him. When Rodney got older, he'd come to my dad's house, who had ramps in his backyard. So it was always a cool thing. My dad got hurt. He was going to go to California to be a big-time skateboarder for big magazines, and his parents didn't want to send him. Didn't have the money to send him. And he wasn't going to say, give me the money, I'm going all in, like I would have. Living my life, I had a couple of those moments where I'm like, just believe in me. Give me the shot, and I'll come back a hero. He didn't get sent. He stopped skating. Worked for NASA. He's worked there ever since. But it could have, would have been. So, yes, he definitely knew Rodney Mullen. Thank you for bringing that memory up. But through that, it motivated me and Cody to become some vert motherfuckers. He taught us backside airs, front side airs, how to really do it, how to pony boy do it. You know what I mean? Inverts, and you still kill it to this day, Cody. And those moments are wild. I got some clips. I might show you some clips here. Matter of fact, I was gonna. Fuck it,
dude. How inspiring was it to go through that? Remember that photo album that your dad had of all the professional, like, him like huge airs, just the coolest shit to see. Like the dude that we hang out with, that I would sleep at your house every single night, and like to see him in his fucking prime, like real legit printed. That was so cool, dude. That was so inspiring.
Real Polaroids, going way higher than we thought we were. We thought we were badass. Them boys were. He was 3 feet above the coping.
Things that were way above our level, and we're like, it's so hard to accept that. You're like, how is this? Like, we're not even that good. It was so crazy. And seeing him doing the tricks that we can't even being able to do,
Yep. And they didn't even have the moves invented back then. They didn't even have board flips. Didn't even think about, all the crazy shit that we've seen. Because it's one of those sports that have been cultivated and shaped in our eyes. The past 2 decades, skateboarding has changed dramatically.
Yeah.
So it's like we got to watch it, dude. And it's just crack. How many days we're just sitting at your house, my house, watching YouTube videos, staring at highlight videos. And they're not even called that. I'm a basketball player now, but all the fucking pro tapes and shit, demo tapes, and just hours, bro. Engulfed, playing skate on the game, dude. That's why we were good, in my opinion. It was everything. Anything that you engulf yourself in life, you'll be good at.
That's so true. I think that's that's the only way I'm good at skateboarding now is because I went through that period. That's all I cared about. I didn't dedicate any time to anything skateboarding. Like that was it.
Yeah.
That's all we did.
Then nothing. Every time I passed the Publix on St. James, I just imagine us in the back after school. We'd go behind Publix. There was this like 4-foot drop where it's like the loading thing. And that was the biggest drop. That was our El Toro for the skateboarders. They know where that is. And we would jump off it, try to kick flip it. And it's just like, damn, them moments, dog.
Yeah.
Never will I forget them days, bro. And you kept it going, bro. And I look and I just love seeing you. Didn't go all the way because you would have been on TV if you went all the way, brother.
Yeah.
But you went all the way enough to just still be you, still fucking rip it up, still shred it. And I think anybody that has seen you skateboard will say that you have an old school style. You're not the, you know what I mean? You have an old school, the way you carve, the way you fucking pump, the way your tricks.
Yeah.
And I just love to see it. I know my dad loves to see it, bro. I have to let you know, man.
Have you showed him my
I show him everyone, dog. I show him everyone, every invite. I'm like, Dad, come look. And he steals my phone. Usually he'll be like, I don't care. But when it's that, he's holding my phone for a little bit. The goat ramp videos with Tim. I follow all of them still. So I see it all with you.
Dude, Tim, he went to the early goat. Since then, me and Tim became such good friends. I've seen his goat ramp grow so much every day. He's just doing like little demos and stuff.
Yeah,
huge demos now for like he figured out a certain way to build a portable ramp. It's like a Lego, like every piece you can build whatever kind of ramp you want. You can bring it to you on the back of the picture and put it together in an hour. It's insane.
Oh, insane. Smooth too. Smooth stuff. Smooth real wood. This is like, damn.
It's like a new skate park every time he sets it up. It's insane.
I mean, think about that idea, right? A birthday party I'm bringing a skateboard park to you. Like, damn, man, that's intense. Shout out to Tim Coolis.
Setting up indoors, like all kinds of crazy events.
And so now we'll go a little bit further. So after skateboarding, okay, my boy Cody and I drifted away. I went out and played college basketball in Connecticut, froze my ass off, son. Now I'm back, and I come back and I see my brother training. Okay, now let me rewind. Back in 8th grade when we were skateboarding, Cody, we liked fighting. We liked UFC. It was MMA back then. It was definitely, early days. We're talking Rashad Evans was the prime. We're talking, Rampage was the prime.
Rashad Evans versus Rampage was like the fight back then. That was it.
Right. And if you're a true MMA guy, you were a fan of Charlie Horse. Okay, you're a fan of what was the crazy guy? Charlie Horse, right? Crazy something horse.
Charles Crazy Horse Bennett was his name.
Oh, what a madman! Still fighting legend.
Absolutely.
Back then, I only say it because Cody was definitely training little by little. He dragged me for a week. He got me to come to an American top team that we had for some reason behind a Walmart out here in our little town. But then Tom is out there. Yep. And so I went there for a week. I was like, damn, this shit's legit. We're learning heel hooks. We're learning fucking arm bars, triangles. I'm like a little strike, and I didn't want to kick. Hurt my foot every time I kick. Fast forward from that, I've always been pretty good at wrestling, but that week, I could fuck somebody up. Okay, I know what I'm doing when it comes to grappling, a little jiu-jitsu. I know enough to, if you don't know your shit, I'll be okay. I come back after college, and Cody's real deal. Past couple years, Cody's real deal. Cody's booking fights. Cody's on a fight card at our local fight event. Rise of Warrior, which is a legit promotion out here. Shit is massive. I didn't get to go to his first fight, but I did go to his second fight. Now, before he says anything, because obviously I like to gas people up, like to boast up Cody, but just in case, the proof is in the pudding. So let's just go ahead and show, okay, my brother's first fight. And just roll this on real quick.
1-2 down the middle. 1-2 down the middle. Get up that right kid. Get up that right kid. Straight punches.
Whoa, mouthpiece rolling on the ground. Hold on now. Whoa. Okay, I'm gonna let it roll. I got questions. Yeah, I'd agree, Cody. Yeah, pretty much over there. So, okay, back to the man. So let me just say this, Cody. What is that moment like, dog? We'll break it all down, but that moment there after it's over, that adrenaline pump, was it?
Dude,
come on now.
There's no feeling I could ever compare that to. Like it is the most wild moment. Just aside from winning and getting a good win, just stepping out there is like nothing you can ever experience. You know what I mean? It's fucking insane.
Oh man. So you had it pumping the whole time, not just that moment. The whole walk up, the whole day, you were amped. It was one of those moments.
Yeah, for sure. Yeah, like
the second fight, I was there. I did see the walkout. I did see that, and it was electric.
It is, right?
Dude, Cody, bro.
It's such a fucking amazing experience, dude.
And so, what weight class do you fight in?
I'm 145. So I walk like 156, 158, and then I cut down to 145 for the fight.
Okay, that's not too bad.
Yeah,
that's not too bad. And I would say you're in normal fighting shape. I would say if you were to chill out and be lazy, you wouldn't be 150. You'd be a little higher than that.
I think.
Would you agree with that?
I think since my last fight, I took a month maybe with like just no training at all, eating like shit, and I crept up to like 159. You know, that's I feel like that's the most I'll ever weigh. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
It's not that hard to cut 15 pounds. It's like not a big deal, you know. Especially if I'm working out just a little bit, I'm at 155 easy.
Mm-hmm.
And
and how much weight do you gain back? Is it you have to weigh in and then you get to kind of eat as you wish? Do you bulk up a lot or not too much?
I guess, I mean, you weigh in at 4:00 the day before. So weigh in 4:00 Friday, and then you fight Saturday. So I couldn't imagine how much weight I really gain. I've never actually weighed myself because I was just so
amped up,
distracted with what's going on, you know, but I couldn't imagine gaining more than a couple pounds. You know, I just have like a big breakfast, or I have a big dinner the night of weigh-ins, which is always the best dinner of all, because you've been eating like fucking
nothing,
eating the tiniest meals, trying to like really. And the day of weigh-ins, you can't eat anything, any sip of water, any like bite off of a granola bar that you take. You got to think like that could push you overweight. You know what I mean?
Damn.
So it's tough, dude.
Damn, man. That is insane. And it's just so wild to see, like, especially the pro guys cutting 20 plus pounds.
Oh, yeah. You know? And that's 15 for me is a big deal, but pros, like, it's crazy how much weight they cut. Because you got to give yourself the most advantage you can. You know, the more weight you can cut, the bigger you
smaller
are
the opponent.
In that weight class, you know. So
damn.
For me, like, I'm not trying to kill myself and cut 25 pounds. Like, that's just not for me.
And now, while you are in camp, while you are training, what is your diet like? Is it just super green, super not a lot of food, or are you just eating the right meals, meal prep, and everything?
Yeah, I think like as far as like you don't have to really be worrying about like counting carbs and stuff like that until like the very end. Like maybe 3 weeks out is when you got to start really like, okay, because you lose so much weight. Training at Dan's Garage, it's hot, you know. It's hot. You're sweating your ass off every day. You kind of if you're just training every day in the heat, like any fighter in Florida, I mean, I know a lot of people fight or train in like gyms that have air conditioning and shit like that. But for just training at Dan's house, which is where I like to train because that's where the best fighters in the area are, and you got Dan and Scrap, like the best coaches.
Yep.
You lose the weight so fast just by training there every day. Like by the time it comes down to like the last 3 weeks, I'm counting carbs a little bit, making sure I'm not eating anything crazy. I don't eat a lot of pasta and shit like that, and like just fattening stuff, no beer at all, and just make sure that I can make it, because there's nothing more disrespectful than missing your weight. And you kind of at that point you got to ask your opponent, like, will you still down to fight?
Will you still fight?
Yeah.
And the big boys that they take the money away and shit.
It happen at weigh-ins. I'm like, man, that's just the dick move, dude.
Yeah, because it's really a responsibility not only to yourself, not only to the car, but your opponent, the people who pay to come watch it.
For real.
And I could say, so the second fight I did get to go watch. This is Cody's second fight at the Fence Center, Rise of Warrior in Fort Pierce. And I will definitely tell you, man, I have some videos. It was definitely a long night for your boy Wydoe because they had the drinks pumping. But it was awesome, bro. I mean, the lights, I felt like I was in a real UFC event. I never knew if I could really see through the cage. I saw perfectly. It was awesome. The whole city came out, and I could tell you at least 30% of that crowd, 40% of that crowd was in here looking and waiting for Cody Maitland, dog. No lie. There's a lot of people that had some people crowd favorites, but you were the man, my brother.
Dude, it blows my mind how many like people actually show up to watch me fight. Like I can't believe how many people show up, dude.
To me, it's almost obviously I'm coming to support my brother and shit, but a lot of people know you as Cody. You're just the nicest guy. You're a skateboarder. What you've known when we were partying and shit at the high school. And now it's like, oh, he's a real fighter on the because Rise of Warrior has been around for a while. You know, had a lot of good fighters come out of here. But when it's somebody that you know, someone that you really know, and he's on that card about to put everything he can in that cage and potentially get knocked out or knock someone the fuck out, I'll be there.
Yeah.
And dude, it was worth every goddamn penny, Cody. Every penny. Let me tell you this quick story. I got more questions, dude.
What's up?
Oh, yeah. The next one, I'm there. My boy's not fighting, but he's got a VIP section. I'm there.
This Saturday, I got a VIP section out there. My boy's fighting. I'm doing some cornering and coaching and shit, but I got you a fucking cage side spot.
Bro, and it's such a dope vibe because, I mean, literally, you're so close. It's the only kind of spot. It probably doesn't happen as serious in the pro level just because it's so a venue so much bigger. But venues like this, everything looks professional. Everything is professional, but you're literally hands away from the fighters, hands away from the guys. Cody, like he just said, he's going to go corner somebody. Then he's going to get down. I can walk right up to him on his table, shoot the shit with him, as I did after his fight. Where else can you do that? Really go up and see your guy, you know?
Yeah, I have to say that it's got to be one of the best promotions in the state. I mean, there's other huge promotions, but I've been to some, and like the turnout, there's thousands. There's at least 2,000 people that show up to this thing compared to some of the other promotions I've been to. It's like, I can't believe how big it is. And it's so local. It's right in Fort Pierce.
Right there.
People come from everywhere. People come from Georgia, Alabama to come fight. Like it's insane.
Yeah, and there's good fights too. It was because I'm a big MMA guy. I love UFC, so I was like, I'm coming in there as a real critic. If I don't see my boy and I don't see some real shit, I'm not. Every fight, the girls, big guys, small guys, early fights, main events, everything was basically a 3-round fight unless it was a title fight and shit. So it was to the point. Some were MMA, some were kickboxing only. Every fight was exciting. Every fight was dope. You know, I was like, damn, this is it, dude. The lighting was awesome. Shout out to my boy Lightchild. Emilio killed the game. LCP was there doing their thing. I was like, the whole show was wild, Cody. The whole show was wild, bro. And now let me say this. When you're in the moment, I've always wanted to ask this. I only saw you the first fight. You didn't go to a corner. That was first round. Didn't make it. The second fight, you did go to a corner. You got the first round. You were very tired in that fight. So this is really for you. In those moments when you're getting talked to in the corner and you're dead tired, because especially your first fight, anyone who doesn't know, Cody goes in full-fledged. I like to throw hands. Cody seems like the Pokemon with the kicks. He's a kicker, okay? This motherfucker comes out kicking for real. And kicks probably takes a lot of your energy. So you could tell after that first round, Cody was throwing haymakers. You saw what happened in the first. And he hit him with a lot of those. But he was still there, the guy who was fighting. And so you could tell Cody was exhausted after that round. So when you sat down and everybody was right there, your corner was in it, can you even hear them? Are you just fighting to stay alive, breathe? What's that moment like on that corner bench?
Oh, man. First off, before you even get to the bench, when you step into the cage, your entire camp, you're thinking of game plan. You're thinking, okay, I'm gonna set up this couple things. I'm gonna work on these combinations. You have all these plans. The second you step into the cage, you're so overwhelmed, you can't feel your legs and you don't know where the fuck you are. It's your adrenaline dumps all of your energy at once. So you're just walking into the cage, you feel tired already. Like you're amped up and you're ready to go, but like it's just so different. There's thousands of people around you. There's lights blaring on you. You know, like people talk about doing stand-up comedy and having the lights facing them, it just like fucks them up mentally. Like same exact thing happens with kickboxing and MMA. Like you get the spotlight on you. Yeah, it kind of turns you into like this person that you're not even. Like I kind of remember going in there just being all tough and shit. And like, I'm not like a showboater like that. But when you fucking walk in there and there's everybody screaming your name, you're like, you just want to like flex. You know what I mean? It's such a weird. It just turns you into someone else. So just off rip going in there, you're not going to remember your game plan. You're not going to fight as well as you were supposed to fight, or as well as you fight in the gym. You're never. I mean, as far as an early amateur level, like pros, obviously they can get in there and fight as good as they, because the whole cage thing doesn't affect them as much. They can stay calm and relaxed.
Yeah.
But as an amateur with a couple fights on you, like you get in there and this is the moment you've been training for every single day and thinking about for 3 months straight, and now it's time to fucking deliver. It's pretty hard.
Yeah.
You know, like,
and that's why you see a lot of the big pro guys, their losses are all earlier in their career. Moments like this, and then they get on a tear and it's all off rip. But everyone, you know, when you haven't had the moment, how can you be prepared? As a college basketball player, I've played in front of thousands, but it's never a Wyatt moment. It's my team. They see me in the layup line and making dunks and shooting in the game and shit, but it's never a me. MMA fighter, the whole room was there for Cody Maitland and his opponent, and everyone was here for him. So the moment was literally on those two guys.
That's true.
Couldn't imagine that, dog. So so you were tired as fuck before you even threw one punch.
Yeah, I mean, I guess not like tired in a physical sense, but you don't feel 100%. It's weird.
Something's off.
You know, everything's off. You know, like nothing goes the way you planned it to be. Like I had a very specific game plan that I was gonna throw a 1-2 head kick right off rip and just see if I got a lucky KO right off rip. Yeah. And as soon as that didn't happen, or I guess I didn't even throw a 1-2 head kick. I just threw a random head kick and it knocked him down.
Yep.
And as soon as your whole camp, you kind of try to you got to find the balance between going hard but not too hard. Like you got to put on the pressure. But if you put on too much pressure all at once in the first round, you're going to gas out. You know, it doesn't matter how much you run or how good your cardio is. If you put too much into the first round, you're not going to make it out the first round with all of your, you know, in the second round, you're going to be fucked.
Yeah.
And I think not a couple things happened with my last fight. I threw the head kick, got it, and he fell down. So I was like on fire. I was like, that's it. I just got to hit him one more time and he's going to be done for.
Yep.
And then that didn't happen. He got back up, and the next few couple head kicks, he blocked them, or they just didn't land right. And it just fired me up so much. I was on go. You know what I mean? I was like, I just got to finish this dude. Like, it can happen right now. And then I just threw out everything I could. And the timing fucked up. I'm supposed to do a 2-minute round.
Right. It was longer.
Yeah. The MMA fights are 3 minutes, but kickboxing fights are 2 minutes because they want everything to speed up. They want it to be like a fast-paced striking match. You know what I mean? So in training, I'm doing 2-minute rounds, and I'm pacing myself to fight at 2-minute rounds, trying to figure out how hard I can go in those 2 minutes without completely depleting my energy. You know, so I'm really preparing for a 2-minute round, and then they just accidentally put me on the same 3-minute round that the MMA guys were on. So I'm fighting the pace of a 2-minute round for a whole 3 minutes, and I just
3 minute,
you know, it gassed me so hard. Like I was in the corner. I remember telling Scrap, I was like, Scrap, I'm gassed. Like I can't feel my arms. Like I there's nothing I can do now. You know what I mean? Like it just fucked me over so bad. But
I mean, you could
kudos
see
to the dude that I fought, because he fought that same 3-minute round, not trying to take anything away from him. His cardio was so much better than mine that he was able to fight that 3-minute round and still have energy to beat me in the second. So.
Oh yeah, it was a good fight, man. It was definitely a good fight. He was coming out of there. He was definitely getting hit with shots. He was definitely giving the shots back. Cody got hit with a bunch of shots, but he was still there. You know, you could tell. Like a lot of people around me were saying, like, Cody's hands down, but he's fucking tired. It's just it. And to my opinion, I believe his name was Joe. But compared to you and Joe, you were throwing a lot more kicks.
Yeah.
70 kicks, 30% punches. He was the opposite, throwing a lot of punches. And he didn't look as exuded, as gassed out as you did throwing all them kicks, because your whole body has to, you know what I mean?
Exactly.
And that was evident. But I mean, who can prepare you for that? You know, he went through the same thing. So I guarantee he was pretty happy when he realized you were just too tired, man. That's really all it was. There was never Dakota did not get beat, not get knocked out. He was just exhausted. And
I genuinely feel like I'm a better striker than him, but his cardio outlasted mine. And throwing all those kicks, you're right, it takes your whole body to throw a kick. Yeah. And I just, like, you get stuck in this mental rut. Like on my last fight, I fucking knocked the dude out in 30 seconds with a head kick, and I'm feeling gassed in the moment. I can't really think straight. All I can think of, I can end this if I just get one fucking head kick. If one of these works, he's gonna go down. You know what I mean? So I just got stuck in that mental rut where I was just throwing everything I could into a kick that just didn't land. You know, it's stupid, but
it's a wild game, man. It's so hard because, like, you know, on this podcast, I'm big on, I don't really like too many analysts. I don't like especially the sport world, basketball and shit, but especially this MMA shit, man.
Yeah.
Not enough people look at it the right way. This shit is a sport. I don't care, amateur, big time shit. It's a different kind of sport. You can't look at wins and losses, records. Each fight is literally a Super Bowl.
Yeah.
Literally a Super Bowl. You know, in
so
basketball, there's some giveaway games. Football, there's some I lost that one. Records are in MMA and fighting, especially fighting. You can lose one fight. If it's a dragged out decision, you're okay. But if you get knocked out, if you get slept, it's a career changing moment. It's a life changing moment because the moment was all on you. The team didn't lose. No, you lost.
Yeah.
And it's not fair to me to put them in the boat like every other sport. No, this is a different kind of game. Every fight is a fucking Super Bowl. Every fight is the greatest moment. And 4-ounce gloves, one little hands down chin shot, you're done. You know, so that small margin of error, there's no way you can just look at somebody, oh, he lost, oh, he's garbage. Even low-level guys, pro-level guys, no. Just to keep it real, I don't know who his name was. He was a guy, I believe he was around here, but he got introduced. He had a big following in his stands. Unfortunately, he did get knocked out in the first round quick early. I think he just got hit in the eye, probably hurt his orbital. I walked up to him. At this point, I was 7, 8 Crown Apple and Cokes deep, and they were loading them bad boys up, and I was turned the fuck up. And I walked back there, and he's a little, getting embraced with his family and shit. Definitely upset that he got knocked out in front of his, his family, and he took a loss. But like I said, it's a Super Bowl. So just because you lost and got knocked out, it doesn't matter to me if you got knocked out or decision. This is this game. Because in basketball, I can get dunked on horribly, and I'm still a good basketball player. We're still moving on. So it's not fair to say, he's done. So I walked up to him very drunk and said, listen, dude, pulled him aside. I don't know who you are. You don't know me. I just need to let you know. Anybody that stepped foot in that cage is a warrior and deserves all the respect. So I don't care if you lost, you a fucking winner and a warrior in my heart, and I just need to let you know that.
Yeah.
Sober Wydoe probably wouldn't have said that. I'd probably would have just saluted him, but I had to go let that man know. Then I walked and saw my boy in the locker room, embraced him. But Cody, man, like, fighting is so crazy to me.
It is, dude.
A lot of people talk about fighting. Most people that can fight, I can fight a little bit. I don't train like that, but I know how to handle them. Most people that can fight, I believe, don't want to fight.
Yeah.
It's not something that you want to do, especially not in the streets where you're overwhelming somebody. But in a moment where you're fighting somebody that's just as good as you, just as the same weight as you, coming in and with the same camp as you, how much did you prepare for him? Or is that at your level, you're not even worried about him, just worried about me doing my thing? Did you have somebody act like him, try to pose on a potential guy, style like him, or is it just make sure Cody's right?
A little bit of both. Like this fight. So on Rise 29, we both fought kickboxing at 145 pounds. We both won on that card. So Dan was like, "Yo, you want to fight this dude? Like, it'd be a good fight for you. You guys, both tall strikers, and it would be a good matchup and kind of figure out like what kind of ranking we're doing, like maybe for like a title shot or some shit like that. You know what I mean?"
Yeah.
It was a way to bump up the ladder, and I was like, "Fuck yeah!" I saw the dude's video. I was like, "Dude, I'll fucking whoop that dude's ass," and just like took the fight immediately. I was all gassed up from my knockout and shit. I was like, "Hell yeah, let's do it!" And then took the fight. So I had pretty much 3 months. They do the Rise every 3 months. So I took the fight, and Scrap is my like 100% main coach. He didn't do too much like studying the fighter and stuff like that, because it can get kind of counterproductive if you study a fighter too much.
And he switches it up.
He switches it up and doesn't fight like that at all, or he learns a lot and doesn't do that one little move that you had planned to counter. You know what I mean? So you can't focus too much on the opponent. You got to just get yourself better and work on yourself. But at the same time, I mean, maybe the last couple of weeks, let's watch this last fight video and see if there's anything we can pick up on and see if we can figure something out. But I think it's a little bit counter. I agree with Scrap saying that we shouldn't focus too much on the opponent. You know what I mean? Just get yourself as good as you can. Get your own game plan that will at least work against that style of opponent, and just fight your game plan,
And so do you watch film of yourself? Do you watch a lot of films of like your first fight going into the second one? Do you watch film and critique your own self?
For sure. Yeah, like even like on a normal day, like I train a little bit and I'm like, oh yeah, like I wonder if that would have helped me in my last fight. And I kind of watched the last fight and I'm like, man, I did that so wrong. You know what I mean? Like you're always kind of like, you'll find yourself having a beer or two and like you'll just Google your fucking name and watch your fights and shit and like just kind of like relive those moments. You know what I mean? Like you have to. It's so hard not to just watch the fight over again. You know what I mean?
See what you could have did, where you should have been.
Yeah, you know, like I fucking watched my last fight today. I'm like, man, I know exactly what I did wrong. You know, like it's at least for my last fight. So my friend Corey Bowser, he's fighting in this Rise. It's his first fight ever, and he's in a kind of in my personal opinion, he is in a similar situation that I was. His opponent will be like how I was, like a kickboxer fighting a boxer. So this dude Corey, all he needs to do, in my opinion, to win this fight coming up is do exactly what my opponent for my last fight did to me. So I had personal experience of I'm a kickboxer. I throw a lot of kicks. I try to do damage to the legs and then bring it up top and fucking get a good head kick. Mm-hmm. His opponent is a Muay Thai guy. He is going to be throwing a lot of kicks, and a good way to combat that is to just walk forward, take it simple. Don't come up with some elaborate game plan to block the kick and fucking counter this way. Literally just walk forward and fucking 1-2, 1-2, 1-2, 1-2. Because you can't kick when you're on your back pedal. You know what I mean? You can't throw a good kick when you're backing up if possible. And that's kind of what happened to me. My opponent took it real simple, walked me down, going straight with just easy 1-2, 1-2s, and it was stuffing my kicks because I'm just trying to land a big head kick. You know what I mean? So I'm thinking if my friend, he's more of a boxer, doesn't have too much experience with kickboxing, so I think that's what I told him. I was like, dude, do exactly what my last opponent did to me. Fucking walk him down. Keep it simple. You're not going to remember any game plan that you fucking try to come up with anyways when you're in the moment. So just keep it simple. Fucking 1-2, 1-2.
How much of fighting is, I think we see it a lot with the high levels because they're so damn good, and one mishap is it's over. How much of it is reaction or I'm going to lead the dance? You know, how much is it? Everything is off of him. If he does that, I'm doing this. Or at one point, do you have to I got to make a move. I got to run in and get this guy.
Yeah, it's definitely a mixture of both. You know, like you got to know when to counter. A lot of people, it's just kind of like comes down to style. You know, like some people, their main move forward is countering off of someone's mistake or someone's thing that they kind of picked up on that they do, their little hint that they give off when they're throwing a certain thing. You know, like a lot of people are counter strikers, or there's people that are completely offense that just go out there and throw fucking bombs and knock people out like Ty Tuivasa.
Yeah, you know, Michael Chandler, Ty, right?
Yeah.
Yes.
So it's like comes down to style. You know, like if you're somebody that's just gonna go out there headhunting and try to knock somebody out, like that's their game. If you're a counter fucking striker, then that's your game too. You know, like everyone's different with it.
So when you're actually in the fight, how do the strikes feel? Punches, kicks, do they really hurt? Because obviously they hurt a lot more when you're training. You're just there, but in that moment, do they still hurt, or you just kind of get depleted of energy?
I think it's definitely. It's not like it hurts. Like even just getting punched with a boxing glove isn't that fucking bad unless you get really rocked. But like for the most part, if you just catch like a little cross or something like that, like it just kind of fires you up. You're like, it makes you. It just wakes you up if you're Patty Pimblett and like get in there. Yeah, you know, like you gotta fucking. It makes you want to get in there and fucking give it back, but you gotta like keep your composure. You know what I mean? You can't let the little strikes fucking piss you off. But another thing that I kind of noticed after really like, because I'm really trying to help my friend win this fight, and I'm trying to think all the things that were going through my head, because cage experience trumps fucking how much skills you have at the gym. You know what I mean? Like I'm from thinking of some sort of cage experience thing that I've learned from my last fight is that when you can get hit, and compared to sparring, when you're actually in the cage, you're getting hit a lot more and you're getting hit a little bit harder. So it's easy to get in that, like, you get in this weird mindset where in the first round I thought I was losing. Like I remember getting hit a lot and I was like, fuck, like I think I'm losing. You know, like I remember having that stupid little thought. And that little thought that came in my head, even when I watched the video, watching the first 2 rounds, the first 2 minutes, I think I had the first round. But when you get into that, just getting hit a lot, getting hit harder, it kind of makes you want to, like, they call it giving up. Like even in like amateur MMA, even in a striking match, like you can't really like give up completely, but it's like you get in this weird like failure mindset when you're getting hit a lot, and it's like you need to fucking kick that because you can be winning the round, and just because you're getting hit so much, it makes you feel like you're losing. You know what I mean? And it kind of like kills your ego in the moment, and you kind of do need your ego to win a fucking fight. Like in the end, it's a fucking fight. You know?
At the end of it. So yeah, you go ahead.
I was just saying it's easy to fall into that fucking stupid quitter mindset in the middle of a fight in front of everybody. You know, like you're locked in a cage with somebody that's trying to kill you, and it's easy to just be like, I want to get the fuck out of here. Like that's how I felt when once I gassed in the second round. I was like, dude, I can't even hold my hands up. Like I'm like, get me the fuck out of the cage. You know?
Yeah.
It's so
and
hard
that's
to
every pro we see
mindset.
him, even when they clip him, it's just whoa, you got to make sure he's really finished to finish him before you even go, because there's just all that gas tank is so it's a necessity. You have to have
precious,
the energy,
dude. The gas tank's precious.
Damn. So before the fight,
get in there and
before the fight,
savor that.
When you're in the locker room, how warmed up did you get? Because I see a lot of UFC guys. You could tell my guy Connor, man. I can tell when he comes out there and he's not sweating, and you can see the guys who come out sweating, they're warm. And I think the guys who are warm perform a lot better than the guys who are cold coming out for the show. How much did you prep before getting in there?
I think I leave it up to Scrap because he's fought so much, and he's like my coach, and I listen to everything he says. If he says, I think last time I fought fight number 7. So if he says you need to start stretching at fight number 2, and we need to start hitting pads at fight number 3, you know, that I'm going to just listen to him, whatever the fuck he says. Like if what he says goes. Like you start stretching. You don't want to warm up too early because you don't want to tire yourself out. You know, you kind of got to let your coach gauge when that's going to be, you know. So I think you start really hitting pads and like really warming up. I think about fight 5 is when I'm like going after it and like maybe sparring with somebody on my team or just like getting some movement in, just moving your body, making sure you're 100%. And then maybe the fight before, you're just kind of like pacing. Like, and they say it's bad to pace, but it's so hard not to just fucking pace around there. Like you're just so ready to go. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
You've been waiting for this moment for 3 months. You're confident. You're warmed up. Like it's about to go down, you know, like, and then they call your name. Your fucking song starts playing. You're so hyped up. You turn into this other animal. You're walking out there feeling like $1 million.
Yeah. And you look like $1 million out there, my brother. I will tell you that. I didn't know where to be, so I just walked around with you. I was just like, fuck it, I'm gonna go around here. 3 different spots during the fight. I'll tell you that, bro. I was just amped. And I felt like I was in that fight with you. I could see it. And I was like, but fucking Cody's tired, bro. He's throwing 15 kicks right now. I'm like, how the hell? But he's in your mind. Your body's like, I gotta kick him.
Yeah, dude.
And it's like, so in the moment, is it going fast? Because for me, when I got real at basketball and it was serious moments, it was almost slow motion during the moment. And then it was like, it was gone, you know, in an instance. But during it, I could see things. It was slow. Did it go by super quick in that moment once that bell rang?
I think the best, I can't tell you if it goes by quick or slow. I would say quicker than anything, but the most thing is it's blurry. Like, after the first round, you don't remember a fucking thing about the last round. Like, it's all just a blur while you're out there. Like, that's the best way to describe it. Like, nothing's clear. You're not thinking straight. You're just out there blinded, throwing haymakers. At least that's your first couple fights. Like, nothing's clear about it. You know what I mean? Like,
even the pros, UFC guys are on the corner like, am I down? Am I up? They don't. They're in the fight. They don't even know. It's just.
My first fight after I knocked the dude out, Dan was like, "Do you know what happened?" And like he's like, "Come up to me like, do you know what happened?" I'm like, "I think it's over." You know, like it's so like I was like, I didn't know if the dude was knocked out or not. I'm just running around the cage, fucking beating my chest like a fucking animal. Like I don't. You lose. You lose.
South Africa came out. Okay, the silverback gorilla lion came out of that motherfucker.
Dude, it's a fucking weird game, man. But it's an experience, you know.
I can only imagine that adrenaline, bro. Because like basketball, the big moments, like I can dunk, I'm a jumper, but in the big games in the warm up layup line, I'm a fucking warm up legend. It was a different feel when there's a crowd yelling at Wyatt, Wyatt, you're an idiot. I was LeBron James for real. So I could only imagine, and it's a little bit, you know, because like I said, it's not all on me. So I had a small portion of the adrenaline.
Yeah.
You're walking out with a fucking entrance music.
People are
the
fucking
light on you.
dude, it's fucking ridiculous. How do you feel like you perform in basketball in games compared to practice? You feel like you're a better basketball player when the pressure's on, or do you feel like you're better in practice when you don't got any pressure?
The biggest thing for me is the game. A lot of people get shocked, but if you practice like it's the game, you'll never be shocked. So it's all about how serious you take it. So once I realized that, because you see real quick when middle school games, high school games, I saw when it's a game, it's a different feeling. When there's people chanting, there's people I know that are watching me, it's different. And just like fighting, once you get tired, that's when the real guy comes out. That's when you know who's who. So everybody can shoot, everybody's flashy on the court, but I want to see you 2 minutes in the third quarter and you play a lot. You know, then we see who's who. So in those moments, and I was okay in high school, went to college pretty good, came home, tore all my ligaments out of my ankle, couldn't walk for 3 months. When I rehabilitated that, learned how to walk, I became prime Wyatt basketball. Probably should have went and took a G League tryout. And it was all mindset, dog. And for me, the game moments, I was almost like pissed off, but I was locked the fuck in. So I'm in game mode. You know what I mean? And if I was in game mode, I'm locked the fuck in. I'm here. Yeah. What are we doing? I'm open for everything. You can't tell me nothing. Even if I know I'm going to lose here, once I get in game mode, I'm figuring it out. I'm here. So in fighting, I couldn't only imagine that. So in kickboxing, where your world is, there's no potential of going to the ground at all.
Not at all.
Okay.
It's just striking. It's everything. It's pretty much the rules of MMA, except it doesn't go to the ground, obviously, or the kicks, it's a little, so
there's still clinch.
There's no elbows. So in amateur MMA, you can knee to the body, you can strike to the head, kick to the head. The only thing that's really out of bounds is elbows, knees to the head, and the linear kicks to the knee. So like, you see in like UFC, like Jorge Masvidal, he'll throw those like straight kicks straight to the knee.
To hyperextend them.
Yeah, that's gonna like do serious fucking damage. And like, yeah, you can do it in the pros, but in amateur, they're not trying to. No one's trying to fucking blow their knees out.
Yeah, fuck like, no,
man. It's a pretty brutal move, and I get that people, you got to do what you got to do to win, and when you're fucking fighting to feed your family in the pros, but in amateur, they don't do the linear kicks to the knee.
I got a question that I've never heard anybody reference. Did you notice the referee in the fight, or is he just a blur? Like, do you have to work around him, or do you even notice him there?
While it's fighting, I guess while you're fighting, you don't really notice him there until he does something. Like, it's very strange to be in like a full-on combat with somebody, and then some dude's just like, hold up 1 second, like, let me restart. You know what I mean? It's kind of it kind of throws you off for a second. And like, I guess I didn't really pay attention to him too much unless he's like telling me to do something. I remember like I threw a jab to the body at my last fight, and I think he blocked it a bit, and I punched him right in the dick. And I remember he like made a joke in the middle of the fucking fight. I'm like, you're gonna make a joke right now?
Right.
Like, telling me to? He's like, yeah, keep him upstairs. Don't punch him in the dick. You know, he said something stupid like funny like that to make me laugh, and I was like, it's definitely weird. It's not like they're in your way. They're definitely good at like keeping their distance and stuff like that. So
that's probably their whole goal is just to be out the way. But it's just crazy. Because in the moment, like when I play ball, I'll check in knowing we got 3 minutes to go, and I start playing for 5 seconds. I have no clue what the score is. Time. Yeah. I'm just in a fucking zone running around. Do you check up at the clock at all? Can you even hear during the fight while you're fighting? It's so loud. Any connected punch, we're going crazy. Especially his fight. Either way, we were fucking loud. Could you even hear your corner? Because obviously everyone's screaming. Can you hear them? Okay.
You totally can. Like you know your fucking coach's voice so well that and he's screaming loud as fuck. Like Scrap was yelling. Because in his perspective of my last fight, if I would have just kept my distance and thrown jabs and leg kicks and not brawled like I did, then I could have won the fight. So I remember if you watch the video, you'll hear Scrap yelling, jab, leg kick, the entire fight. So
if you just had time to get your energy back, regroup for a little bit, and that's just jab, walk around, knowing you're tired. You don't want to let them know you're trying to get back, but
definitely. I didn't set the pace. I set the pace for a 2-minute round. That's all that happened. I set the pace for a 2-minute round. It was 3 minutes. I got gassed. I couldn't really apply the things that he was telling me. Like you could see in the video after when he's telling me to do jabs and leg kicks, I started throwing them, but it was past the point where I could even throw them and get out of his range. You know, like my whole game plan was to circle and stay out of his range and just kind of pick him apart from a distance. And I couldn't do it because I couldn't move my body. I couldn't fucking even hold my hands up. You know what I mean? It's such a weird.
When I'm dead tired and it's the moment we're going at, I almost feel like my legs are pinned to the ground.
Dude,
I know what I want to do,
but
but it's
sand.
Yep. And that's your fucking body, dude. And I don't care. You can prep, you can get ready. There's no prepping and getting ready for that moment. Because especially basketball, right? I can dunk. I'm a nice jumper. But if it's just me in the court alone, they're okay. Once we get some people in there, the energy comes. It's like I have powers. You know what I mean? So if you're getting punched in the face, you go right back to zero. So I can only imagine that shit.
Yeah, it's weird. It's the only sport that I've experienced that's like that. In skateboarding, same way I would how you just described basketball. In skateboarding, you're at a contest. I skate better in contests than I do in normal, like just chilling at the park skating. Like when there's people and there's money on the table, I'm like, bitch, I'll try anything. You know, like just I've done things in skate contests that I've never done before ever in my life. But fighting, it's just it's such a different thing. It's weird.
Oh man, I could only fucking imagine, dog. It's just putting that mouthpiece in, biting down on that thing, just knowing, like, this is it. We're here to swing and bang.
Yeah. And then what's cool about it was something that now that I've won a fight and lost a fight, and what's really cool about experiencing both was realizing that it doesn't really fucking matter in the end of the day.
Matter.
All the people that are there are still gonna fucking dap you up and say you killed it. Like, it's as hard as it is to take a loss. It made my family and my friends being there, it made it so much easier, which I thought was gonna kill me, like losing in front of my fucking family. But they were just as stoked to see me go out there and fucking put on a good fight. And you know, like, it was pretty cool to see that you can lose a fight and everybody is still gonna be on your side, have your back. Fucking poor.
That's what I'm saying, man. That's why it's so sad to me to hear people.
Like, you know.
That's why it's so sad to hear people.
Yeah.
I hear them talk about MMA, and it's just like when they lose, it's over. And I'm just like, nah, that's not fair, dude. The whole goal of fighting, I don't care, basketball, and this is entertainment. At the end of the day, we're human beings wanting entertainment. Their whole goal wasn't to go Cody to win or Joe to win. It was for both to put on a fight to entertain the people.
Exactly.
Job completed.
Yeah.
Unfortunately, that's a sport where one of them's going to be knocked out, KO'd, or lose a fight. Every single fight, every night.
Yeah.
You know, not many people can say that and put that up. Not every game matters. I lose plenty of basketball games. We're still good. We're still fans.
Yeah.
You know, and it's just not fair to put, like, you know, Marlon Moraes, the Magic it's just, he just retired. He lost a couple fights, but it's like, man, it's part of the game. If you're a Connor fan, you know, the losing shit's part of the game, and it's dedication to it. It's time off. It's time away, and everybody's coming at you. Everyone's coming to get you.
Yeah.
I can only imagine, dog. So what are we looking in the future? Are we slowing down a little bit, maybe get back into it?
So I knew after this, because it takes so much time and like cutting weight, and you're training fucking 6 days a week, twice a day. You know what I mean? Like, it takes a lot out of your daily schedule to accommodate for training. And I was just like, I fought 2 rises in a row. So that was 6 months of straight training. And I know people, my teammates will fight. They'll fight fights in between the rises. That's how fucking gangster they are. They don't give a fuck. Like, fighting is life. These motherfuckers will go out there and take a random combat night fight in Fort Lauderdale 2 weeks out and just fucking do fucking work.
Yeah.
But so I me having 2 rise fights in a row is probably pussy to them, but it was a lot for me. And
fuck, dude.
I knew I was gonna take this one off after this fight. But now I've actually been considering doing MMA for my next fight. I feel like I do have a little bit of jiu-jitsu background, like since we were
definitely
when we first started training in middle school. Like I was doing a little bit of jiu-jitsu. I took a little bit of a break since high school. I kind of trained throughout middle school and high school. I took a little bit of a break, did my own whatever high school bullshit, and then ever since then, I kind of just was striking. Like I wanted to get back into it just for fun, and I enjoyed the striking more. So I never really picked up jiu-jitsu really. But now that I've been fighting, I'm like, man, kickboxing's cool and all. It's good for experience, but I think MMA is kind of where I should head to, you know, like.
Yeah. You got the limbs, you're lengthy, you always had a fucking tight ass triangle, you know. And to me, it's like MMA, kickboxing is wild, dude. That's why they have to have it 2 minutes. There's no way you can have fast paced stand up striking. You know, MMA, they're on the ground, they're almost a minute for a potential grappling match.
Yeah.
But in MMA, if you get hurt, rocked, tired, you can almost do that as a buy time. Let me wrap up. Just if you're good. I just need to not get tapped out and just buy some time. Kickboxing, there is no. Hold on.
Yeah, there's no. It's on go for 2 minutes straight every fucking round, and I feel like I kind of set the pace. I regret this, but for my last fight, I set the pace too quick. Like I kind of like slower pace fights where you're kind of just toe to toe exchanging shots in the sense like when you watch an amateur kickboxing fight and compare that to a UFC card, like any fight on a UFC card. UFC, they're fucking toe to toe. They're taking their time, you know, like it's just like figuring each other out. I kind of prefer that style of fighting rather than just brawling. Like I'm not a brawler. I'm not good at it. I'm better from a distance, just kind of picking my shots because I'm a little taller and like here I can sneak shit in and figure them out. So I'm thinking if I go to MMA, I would be able to fight kind of more fights that I want to fight as far as like standing in the center of the cage, just trading shots. If I can at least get some opponents that are strikers, and then kind of just work on takedown defense. Like Adesanya right now, he went, I don't know what his record was in fucking kickboxing, but he became
one loss, I believe,
champ for whatever Glory or whatever K1, and then he's champ of the world right now in UFC because his takedown defense is off the chain. His striking is on another level. No one can match his striking. And his distance and his patience to not get submitted and get the fuck out of there and get back on his feet. So I feel like,
and I believe, and what's setting Israel right now is he's not willing to just give in for the fans and put himself in danger. So there's been a lot of fights where to the fans, Yoel Romero was boring. Anderson got boring. He's a smart fighter. He's not going to do what Michael Chandler does and say, fuck it, I'm just here to put a show on, knock me out. And that's why Israel's fucking who he is, man.
Exactly. And it's
even
not
when he moved up to fight Blachowicz.
You watch his highlight reel, it's insane. He's like someone I watched a lot because I figured, I know it's impossible to fight like him because he's so unique and just he has so much experience, so skilled. But at least if I could apply anything that I could learn from anyone, it would be something I learned from watching his kickboxing fights. You know what I mean? Like he's super good at keeping distance and using his range and shit like that. Like that's stuff I need to work on. I don't use my range like I should. I just get in there and fucking brawl like an idiot, you know, like
right. And I think
you get hit, you just want to ball up and throw fucking bombs like you're Mike Tyson, but really you're not Mike Tyson's build at all, you know.
No way, right? And it just is not successful doing like that. And I think you're more of a crafty guy, like a Sean O'Malley. He gets away with his craftiness.
I idolize him, his striking as well. He's just a smaller version of Adesanya, you know. Like,
bro.
He's very similar.
He's sick with it, and everyone talks about the takedown. And he's fought him. He's you can take me down, but when you get kneed in the fucking face,
black belts.
Yeah, bro. Both of them. I love both of them, man. And I love how they're not O'Malley's not in a rush to go fight some big dogs yet.
Yeah.
You know, and everyone's kind of making a big deal about that, but he's a smart man. This is a serious game, and if you take a bad loss, it could be over sometimes. You know, all the fanboys are gone.
Right now. Ride it out. Fucking get as many fights as you can. Fuck it. Whether they're top fights or not, you know, just go out there and win. Fuck it.
Oh, man, dude. So bringing it back, I got a question I had to ask you, dude, because it's been on my mind for 16 years, okay? Being from South Africa, this might have something into play. Maybe I was wild. Okay, now we're grown men. We're out of there. Let me ask you this, Cody Maitland. Every time I came to your house, slept over there probably a quarter of my life. Dude, I don't know if they just reminiscing on South Africa, but the shit was always warm, okay? Is it a thing? Have you noticed that? I'm talking like maybe 78, 77. Maybe it was me. But every time, like, yo, this motherfucker Cody, dog. They must be knowing something I don't. Looking back, they probably saved a bunch of money. Am I freaking out, Cody? Do you have a cold ass house now on your own?
Let me see. We're on 7. I can see my thermostat from here. I'm on 71.
See,
So
that's
that
ice
may
cold
have been
compared to what I thought.
a poor immigrant family thing. Like when we first moved, we were just trying to keep the AC on high. You know what I mean? That could have been what it was.
Dog.
But if it was brutal, I apologize.
No, it was okay because I loved you. You know, it was okay, man. You know, your sister was down there to film. I was like, yo, everyone's going through it. I can't just, what am I going to do? I want to go home. Like, we're all here. The cat's here. Like, what the fuck, dude? I got to adapt. This is my brother. I got to adapt.
Yeah, I'm a big fan of the cold house nowadays.
Oh, dude, Cody, brother, I'm talking about sleepovers. I was like, man, something's got to give here.
Dude,
that's so dope, dude.
Hilarious how much time we spent when we were little kids. Like I wasn't sleeping over at your house. You were at my house.
Okay, I had a video I was going to show before I get to the video. We're already at an hour. Won't keep you too much longer, my brother, but I do got to get this story out. Hold on, let me bring you out and bring you back in. There's kind of like a little noise. Yeah, I don't know. I hear like a little something like crickling on your mic. I don't know.
I hear that.
You like maybe?
I'll go back.
If you just come back out and come back in, yeah, it might fix it. While he's out, I got a story time. Okay, so my brother Cody, this is probably 2007. Okay, it's probably 2008, 8th grade. We're in the summertime. He's over at my house, and we have my neighbor. Okay, my good boy Jerry. Jerry's a legend. We'll have him on here one day. Jerry's a little bit of a bigger guy. Okay, good old boy from Ohio. Okay, fucking real slugger out there. Okay. Jerry's a bigger guy, and we're playing a little game of ding dong ditch in my neighborhood. Okay, it's probably 9 o'clock at night, dark. Okay, we got 3 bikes. I have a pretty fast bike, so as a good friend and leader and oldest of this group, I give the fast bike to Jerry. Okay, we'll get ahead. You get the fast bike, dog. We've knocked on probably 2 houses, and Jerry has not knocked on any houses yet. Okay. yeah. So he's just like, like we're being fucking little kids. We're idiots. We're like, all right, Jerry, it's your turn, dog. And he's like, why? Just do one more house, and I can see it one more time. And then okay. And for everyone watching, we're not playing normal ding dong and ditch. We're playing a new game called Ding Dong. Look at them, and then slide up out of there, leaving. You know what I mean? So Cody would be at the door, I'd be in the driveway watching, and Jerry would be a little bit farther. On the 3rd house, I'm knocking. Cody's behind me a little bit behind the car, and they had bushes in front of this guy's house, a big old bush. And I put Jerry behind that bush because, hey, you can't see you. I knock on the door. He has one of those glass windows that you can't see through. Something's off already. He opens the door. The fuck do you want? And I go, literally, the fuck do you want? I'm like, I run away. In my head in that moment, I'm like, okay, we're good because he's going to think I'm scared. I'm just a scared kid. Don't know where I'm at. I take off. Cody takes off. Get back here. Hey, get back here. Get back. I'm gone. Me and Cody are gone. We get on bikes. We're gone. Okay. Next thing I know, we're about halfway down my street. No Jerry. Jerry's gone. No Jerry. No, can't find Jerry. I'm like, holy fuck, dude. If Jerry did not have my bike, which was my mom's bike at the time, I'd have left his sorry ass. But since he had the bike, brother, we went back for Jerry. I see Jerry in the driveway of the man's house. And I'm like, this motherfucker. We get up to it. The dude's like, hey, come on, boys. He told me everything. Just come on. Hey, told me names, height, weight, neighborhood. Come on. We get over there. He's an undercover cop. How the fuck was I supposed to know? And he was so sure that we had planned this. We're going to get him out the house, get him, which, hey, it is what it is. I've never been a cop, so that is a scary lifestyle. Respect to all of them. But we were not coming to do that, sir. We wanted to play ding dong ditch and get the fuck out. So he called the cops. Cops came. They were laughing because what are we going to do about it? The kid. And it was a great moment, man. Cody, and this is to wrap this up, right? We'll leave out a funny part of that story. Okay, we'll leave it out. We leave out what was underneath my shirt. So we go up. We go up, bro.
No, let's bring that.
Okay, we'll go all the way out. So earlier that day, okay, my brother slept over, and I fell asleep early. And he went to go to war. We had Sharpie wars. Okay, we're fucking kids back then, doc. I woke up with some dicks on my fucking chest, Sharpied. I didn't know. Okay, it's funny. Couple dicks on my chest. Fuck it. Fast forward, the whole day goes. It's Sharpie. Them bitches ain't coming off. Fast forward, I got a shirt on. We're doing our thing. We play sports, skateboard. We're ding dong ditching at night. Okay, same night, hours later. I'm thinking now the cops are with us. Male cop, female cop. Okay, they realize not a big deal. But we got to call your parents to come pick you up. You guys are minors, yada yada. And they're asking us questions. Do you have any arrests? Da da da. Nah. Cody just had one. He kind of got a. Do you have any scars or birthmarks? And I said, being a nice kid, giving a cop a good, right, truthful answer must make us out of here. Yeah, fuck yeah, I do, sir. I got one across my whole body. Growing up in life, from here to there was kind of like a birthmark. So kind of look, I'm half black, hoop and rap. Well, let me see it. Yes, sir. I go to show him my birthmark of my chest. Forget about the 3 dicks. Totally, not even, didn't even fucking cross my mind, guys. I'm totally just a young, stupid ass kid trying to be super honest. Show them, they're like, look at this motherfucker. Look, I won't say what he was really saying because we won't offend anybody, but he was not very nice to what he thought I was doing. And I had to let him know, okay, sir, nope, it's not what's going on here. My friend wrote on me. I had no clue. That was a big deal. That
was the funniest moment of my life. I remember I knew you were oblivious
to what was coming.
I saw as soon as he said birthmarks, and you were like, "Oh yeah, I'm gonna just lift up my shirt." I was like, just holding back the laughter, dude. It was the funniest thing I'd ever witnessed at that time in my life. I have never witnessed something that hilarious. So that was real good.
Intense.
That was great for me. It was the ultimate prank.
Oh, fuck yeah. He didn't press charges. He wanted to. He said, you guys are never allowed on my property again. I was slick. I was like, what about Halloween? Nope, not even Halloween. I was like, man, fuck you, dude. Fast forward, Jerry is now a cop, okay? And Jerry on duty saw and met that fucking guy. So
really?
Jerry gave him a little slap. Yeah, shout out to the police department. They're nice guys out there, you know what I'm saying?
I actually saw Jerry at my last fight. I remember he pulled out.
He was there. That's my brother. So to wrap that story up, okay, we get the cops called. The cops call my parents. My mom has to come get us. I get brought back to the house. Luckily, my dad was out of town. He would have been real upset. My mom grounded my sorry ass. Fucking called Cody's dad to come pick him up. The boys just ding dong ditched. John pulls up. That's Cody's dad. He's like, that's awesome. Laughing like a real dad would. My mom's out there like we're fucking terrible criminals and shit. And he's shooting the shit, laughing with Cody. Like, why am I picking him up? Take him away.
I remember a random fact about the story. It was the night that Michael Jackson died.
Passed away.
And your mom was a huge Michael Jackson fan.
Yeah.
So it was like, she found out Michael Jackson died. She gets a call from the cops saying her son's a fucking asshole.
Her son's a criminal. Fucking lock him away.
She had a bad night, dude.
That's right, dude. You're right.
Yep.
He was
just on the other hand, didn't probably even know that Michael Jackson died. So,
but
it was just another night for him.
Yeah, just ding dong ditching. I got grounded for like a week and a half for that shit. Jerry's fine. Jerry's fucking the whole culprit, dude. Without you, we'd been gone. Jerry to this day will say, "You guys should have left. I never told him nothing." Jerry. You were going. That's Wyatt, Cody. He's in this class. Third period, he's here.
He's got 3 dicks on his chest.
Oh, he's fucking listed it all, Jerry. I still love you, though, brother. But that was the difference between an American parent reaction. We got to ground this fucking criminal ding-dong ditcher. To Cody just shooting the shit. But it is a good thing because that is a serious, serious thing, kids. Especially today, people are fucking wild. You'll get shot.
Yeah, don't
ding-dong ditching.
Don't ding-dong ditch. If there's anything anybody learns from this whole fucking podcast, don't ding dong ditch out there.
Especially not at nighttime. It wasn't too late, but looking back, we could have got killed, especially from that guy. He probably wanted to, that fucker.
Oh yeah.
There's so many moments, dude. I mean, I can't even count the concussions I've had with Cody, saw Cody have. I mean, flipping off trampolines. I did a triple backflip, almost died, man. It was too many moments, Cody. But before we get off of here, man, I got to show one thing, just in case anybody thought, I was lying, you were lying. That doesn't happen too often. So when we talk about skateboarding, when we talk about Wydoe, young Wyatt back then, Wydoe wasn't even a fucking thought. It was Wyatt.
Please tell me you're about to pull up some clips.
I'm pulling up the original skateboard team. This is Street Vert Skaters, okay? The fucking original gang. Let's see what we're rolling with. Wydoe's backyard, skateboard park. We're going to see Cody, Wyatt, and the whole gang. Backyard shit, guys. Full on 2 ramps. Cody out here jumping off gates there. What are we? Fisheye lens. Okay. Shout out to Longwood, official right there. Okay, front side grind, rodeo and everything. I mean, come on, guys. This is what it was. This is what it's always been. Street vert skaters lives on. Okay, had
dude,
shirts
I'm
made
so
the whole
glad you
fucking
found
night.
that. We did have shirts made.
Did you see the hair? Boy, I was out there sliding. I swear
you
to
have
God.
the longest hair down to your fucking ear, like down here, dude.
And I didn't even smoke back then. I didn't even smoke weed at all, dude. Imagine if I did. I'd have been pro. that changed the game for me. It opened my eyes, dude. So back then, when it was like a thing, holy fuck, bro.
Oh man,
I'll never forget them days. And Cody's still raw. Cody's way better nowadays. I could definitely go hit a kick flip second try. Definitely hit some shit on a ramp. I've had some people that have a ramp, and I definitely showed out to them. But Cody's that guy. And just on this podcast, since I got my brother here, I got to give a quick moment of silence. Rest in peace to Paradise Skate Park. They tore it down. So sad.
They did.
If I was
that
a rich
was our
man back
part of
then,
our
we would have
childhood.
we would have invested in that sumbitch, dude. That was a mecca.
It was.
13-foot half pipe. Tony Hawk was. I mean, we had the contests out there.
Yeah.
Zion was out there, bro. He's fucking.
We met
big
Zion
time.
when he was how old was he? When
He was
like
a little kid from Orlando.
11 years old.
Yes, he was 12 or 13 from Orlando. Zion
Dude.
Wright went stupid out there.
He
Hung out
blew
with him,
up
skated
so
with him.
hard.
Skated for Team USA in the Olympics, dog.
Yeah, seeing him just at a normal skate park when we were little kids, like, oh, this is that little kid that rips. You know what I mean? Seeing him in the fucking Olympics now is insane.
As like that guy going big on Park. Dalton Dern was there.
Yeah, Dalton Dern's huge now too. Everyone.
Killer, bro.
Blake Carpenter, remember Blake Carpenter from back then?
Yeah,
He's
bro.
pro.
Look at James. Look at James Richardson, bro. He was the chosen one. He's a fucking monster.
He went on like Organica. He was like doing Woodward coaching and shit like that. Like he made a huge fucking. I can't believe how good he got,
bro.
From
he was always good.
He was good as like a little kid. Like you just had that like little kid
grew.
good.
Yeah.
And his level is so far beyond me or anyone else I even fucking know.
Technical.
And now he doesn't even skate. He's just fucking making a bunch of money in Seattle, and that's it. Doesn't even care about skating. No more? I mean, he skates a little bit, but he doesn't like. He's not like trying to do anything with it. But he
was one of them ones. There's a
that
few around here, man. I guarantee a lot of local spots got some skaters. My local city has some fucking skaters.
Yeah,
bro.
Dude.
There's some legends out here, and Cody's one of them guys. A Tim Coolidge, Jim Johnson, a Guinea Man back in the day.
Dude, I still
Zach
see Tim
Rowe.
and Jim. Yep, Zach Rowe. I still see Tim and Jim all the time. They're actually Jim's building a new bowl in Stewart right now. Remember the bowl that you used to skate back way back in the day? He had another bowl since then. He moved to another house, built that bowl. Had to leave that house, and now he's building a third fucking bowl in Stewart.
Low budget bowl.
Gonna be awesome. Number 3. Gonna be amazing.
Oh, bro.
That he is he brings people together like I have never seen.
Yeah.
I don't see it anywhere else. Somebody that's building something in their backyard. I mean, like stuff that we used to do way back in the day. He does that today and brings all of my friends together for huge parties. And it's like, when am I ever gonna see any sort of party like that where everyone is there? Like, I think skateboarding to me has done that my entire life. I feel like I wouldn't know as many people now as it wasn't for skateboarding, because
no way.
You know, like any sort of sport, like it kind of like brings you, it brings friends that you would have lost throughout high school if you didn't share a sort of sport with them, like basketball or whatever you do. Like if you have basketball or skateboarding, like if you don't play a fucking sport, like how many friends are you going to have when you graduate high school or you go off to college or whatever the fuck? Like, how many people are you going to know? Like, you're going to have a couple friends that you remember from high school, but having a sport like that brings everybody together, dude,
And it's a super tight
So
community
cool.
because as a basketball player, I'm only close with my team, and the animosity is real. So like, especially as me as a white boy, when I walk in, I'm one of the best players quite often. So either they'll respect it and want to talk to me, or it's like, whoa. Skateboarding, it's a serious community, man. I don't care if you're one of the stoners that's good, one of the guys that's really technical skateboarders. You're just here to have fun. You're better when you're drunk. There's the rock stars. There's the rapping skateboarders, the hip hop guy. It's a serious community. You'll see them all band together on a stair set, come together to watch somebody try some shit.
It's so cool.
And it's like, that's a real community, that skateboard community. And he's talking about the low budget bowl parties. We're not just talking a skateboard, having skaters come over. They got a DJ. They got people out there watching, not even trying to skate. Food. It's a legit party for hours the night.
Bands playing. It's amazing.
Bands on the damn ramp. Like,
yeah.
One time I think Cody went up and grinded off a drum set or fucking used. Like, shit gets wild out there. The shit gets wild out there, my brother. Before I let you go off, man, I gotta ask, we'll wrap it up, as the South African legend himself, my brother Cody Maitland. What was it like when you went back to South Africa as a grown-up? What was that like, living in America, full bred? What was the difference? How was that like?
There's so many differences. I couldn't even like list them all. Like, for me, the craziest part about the whole thing was pretty much meeting my family that I left when I was 6 years old, going back to meet them when I was 18. You know, it's such a change, you know.
Yeah.
It's like I hear my entire childhood, I hear stories about these people, and you know, my parents are telling me about how funny my uncles are and all these stories about them, and then I go back there and I meet all of them.
Meet them.
I'm 6 years old and I'm a fucking grown man, you know. It was so cool. And as far as living in South Africa, one thing that I noticed that was hugely different was, you know, in America, everyone's just trying to sue everybody. Like, it's so easy to
get a quick one
at Walmart. You just sue everybody. Over there, it's not, the whole suing thing is not as big. So there's so much more fun shit to do. Like, people, no,
because they're not worried about getting sued.
Yeah, so there's just more fun shit to do over there. Like, you go over there, you can go luging, you can go fucking sailing on a tricycle with a sail on it down the beach, and like all kinds of crazy shit. Like, there was so much fun, wild shit to do there that it made me kind of like not wish that I lived there, but at least appreciate the time that I got to spend there. You know what I mean? Like,
yeah, fuck yeah.
Like, it was such a crazy time.
Even being with you here, dog.
Drink over there while.
Yeah.
What's that?
No, keep going.
It's breaking up.
Yeah, you can keep going, dog. You can keep going. I'm on you. Basically, I was just saying, like, even living with you here, bro, spending time with you, going with your family to, I don't even know who it was, an uncle or a niece or somebody, maybe even a close friend, but they were from overseas as well. And bro, just the whole vibe was just so different when I'd go to Cody's house. When me and Cody would go to their house, I don't even know who it was, bro. They had little kids. They had a nice ass house somewhere in Vero or Fort Pierce. Just the whole vibe was different. You can tell it wasn't like my family. It was very family oriented. Everything was super close. Everything was super, you know, it was just, I could just tell it was not like my neighborhood families. It's just traditional American. So I always think it's so dope to see other ethnicities, families, how they're so tight knit, you know what I mean? And I think you guys are definitely that.
Yeah, for sure. I feel like a lot of, when I hear some of my friends describe like their family situations, I feel so happy that I have such like a close connection with all my people, you know. Like, it could be like related to the fact that when we moved here, we don't really have much, like, we didn't have much family living here, so it was kind of like we kind of had nothing to do but kind of connect,
branch out,
and our, you know, so.
That's dope, man. You're a fucking legend. That's all I got to say, brother.
Well,
shit, man, we rolling up on.
It's so good to see you,
dude. Oh, that's what I'm saying. Like, I had to just start the shit just because we're reminiscing. We're talking back and forth, man. We will be together this Saturday at the Rise of Warrior Fights.
Pull up on the VIP table. There should be three different tables that you could just walk right up to, and we'll let you in. So don't even worry about it. I'm
bringing them all just because I've been telling a lot of people, like, it's a fucking vibe, dude. It's the moment. Like, I didn't care who it was. Who knows who the girls were, but it was Joanna Jacek in my head. These are fucking UFC fighters are going off, and It was a vibe, man. So I can't wait to see you. Can't wait to go and see some fights, man. Want to watch you corner. Gonna see you get a W, and either way you do it, fighting as a corner, man. And I appreciate you coming on, Cody, dog.
Dude,
You blessed it. I think
Anytime.
it's just
great
so
talking
dope to hear like somebody with a different story, man. Somebody that really made it happen. He's been good at multiple different things. And I think he's a test to my favorite kind of people, grown-ups, old people. I love when people say, I don't know. I still don't know what I want to do when I grow up. Unless you find the one thing that's you, completes you, you'll know it when it's you. Go all in it. I'm all for it. But unless you're somebody like, I like to say Cody's a guy that lives life. He's one of the guys that let's just keep it going, man. Not only does he skate, do all this, he became a fucking legit artist, professional graffiti guy. I'm talking, I watched him go little boy graffiti to full on. He had a whole name. It's like a whole community. They tag themselves and you know who's who. He was a something, bro. Massive. You still do that at all, bro? Any graffiti artists? I might have to make you come in this wall.
Dude, anytime. Not like, I don't do like old school, like outlaw graffiti and shit like that, but I paint some murals every now and then.
Think about that, guys. He went from graffiti, I'm doing graffiti a lot, to now he's doing murals. Graffiti's like I don't do that little boy shit anymore. He's always progressing. Okay, he went from I want to fly to I'm a pilot. Wide. I'll fucking you want to go to the Bahamas. This is what it takes, man. And this is why I got this podcast, brother, to show normal people reality, real situations. I'm not here for all the fake shit. And so I want to bring real people. You're one of the realest I know. And you made it happen, dog. So I appreciate you blessing the show. Any last words, dog? Go ahead, my brother, before I send you off into the night.
I don't know. Just thank you for having me, dude. It was fucking great chopping it up with you, dude.
Yeah, I don't know. I mean, I feel like everybody always says, like,
let's have a good time.
Yeah, they give him a shot to say something. I'm trying to be a professional. Without further ado, man, I'm going to let my guy get off, do his thing. We appreciate him. This is Cody Maitland, pro skateboarder, amateur MMA fighter, pilot, fucking pre-doctor, graffiti artist, mural painter, South African lion, ostrich rider. He's the legend, bro. I appreciate you, my boy. Everybody, all love. Cody Maitland. And that right there is a legend, man. If I ever had to call a legend up, I just called him. There's going to be a lot of legends that I bring on this shit. They're legends to me, and I will show them and introduce them to the world, to the viewers, and you let me. I mean, who knows what just happened? Okay, just know Wi-Fi totally went off. Got it back. Appreciate anybody joining. Sorry that happened. We'll get better. I'll get better. Till next time, it is your boy Wydoe on the Wydoe podcast. Whew.